They told you it was over. They laughed. They doubted. They whispered behind your back, smirking as they watched you fall. They tried to bury you under the weight of their disbelief, their ridicule, their endless attempts to make you feel small. But they made one fatal mistake. They forgot who you are. They mistook your silence for surrender. They mistook your wounds for weakness. They thought the fire in your soul had died out, but they never understood. It was only burning hotter beneath the surface. You felt it, didn't you? The weight of their words pressing down on your chest like a boulder. The sting of betrayal from the ones you trusted. The suffocating doubt creeping into your mind, whispering that maybe they were right. Maybe you weren't enough. Maybe this was the end. The world told you to accept it, to let go, to fade into the background like so many before you. But deep inside, buried beneath the exhaustion, the heartbreak, and the pain, there was something else, something stronger. A flicker of defiance, a pulse of resistance, a voice raw and unyielding, screaming no, not yet. They thought they had broken you. They thought you would stay down, swallowed by the darkness they left you in. But that they don't understand the nature of fire. It doesn't die in the dark. It grows. It feeds off the silence, off the doubt, off every shattered piece of you they tried to leave behind. And now, that fire is rising. You are not a victim. You are not a casualty of their judgment. You are not the ashes they thought you would become. You are the phoenix, burning through the ruin, resurrecting with wings forged in pain and resilience. They wanted you to stay buried, but instead you are rising. They thought they could silence you, but now the world will hear you roar. This isn't just about proving them wrong. This is about proving yourself right. Because you always knew you were meant for more. You always knew the storm inside you wasn't meant to be caged. The pain they inflicted, the doubt they planted, the obstacles they threw in your path, those weren't the end of you. They were the beginning. They were the fuel that would set your soul on fire. A lion does not ask for permission to roar. A storm does not beg to be unleashed. And you are never meant to be tamed, so let them watch. Let them see what happens when someone refuses to break, refuses to kneel, refuses to fade. Let them feel the weight of their mistake as you rise, unstoppable, undeniable, unbreakable. They told you it was over. Now they will see. It was only the beginning. The world was never designed to make it easy for you. From the moment you took your first steps, there were walls built around you, expectations carved into stone, and rules you never agreed to, but were forced to follow. They told you who to be, how to act, what to want, what to settle for. They handed you a script written by people who never knew your soul, who never felt the fire inside you, and when you dared to step outside their lines, they turned on you. The betrayals came first. The ones who smiled in your face but whispered behind your back. The friends who left when you needed them the most. The people you trusted, the ones you would have bled for, vanishing the moment you stumbled. And each time, you questioned yourself. Was it me? Did I deserve this? Am I not enough? That's what they wanted you to believe. Because the world has a way of breaking people before they realize their own strength. Then came the failures. The moments that made you feel like a fraud, like you were chasing something too big, too impossible. You tried, you fought, you pushed forward, only to be knocked back down, harder than before. And every time you hit the ground, the voices in your head got louder. Maybe they were right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should stop trying. But something in you wouldn't let go. Something in you refused to stay down. And then there was the weight of judgment, the way the world looks at you when you don't fit the mold. They called you foolish for dreaming too big. They labeled you reckless for refusing to settle. They mocked your ambition, your passion, your hunger, because it scared them, because they saw in you something they lost in themselves. And instead of lifting you up, they tried to tear you down. They needed to break you, because your existence was a reminder of their own cowardice. Imagine a warrior stripped of their armor, standing in the middle of the battlefield, surrounded by enemies. The world believes they are finished, They are outnumbered, exposed, vulnerable. But what they don't see is the fire still burning in their eyes. What they don't understand is that armor does not make the warrior. The fight within does. And even with nothing left to protect them, even when the odds are stacked against them, that warrior still stands, still breathes, still fights. That warrior is you. They thought they could weaken you with betrayal. They thought failure would break you. They thought their judgment would shame you into silence. But what they never realized is that every scar, every tear, every moment of doubt, it wasn't destroying. It was forging you, turning you into something stronger, something relentless. They tried to break you, but all they did was prepare you for war. The enemy has never been the ones who doubted you, not the so-called friends who disappeared when the storm hit, not the family members who never believed in your dreams, not the strangers who mocked you, ridiculed you, told you to stay in your place. No, those were just shadows, distractions, echoes of something deeper, something darker. The real enemy? It's the voice inside your head, the one that wakes you up in the middle of the night, whispering, "You're not enough." The one that twists every failure into proof that you should give up. The one that tells you to be careful, to play small, to stop fighting because maybe, just maybe, the world was right about you. That's the enemy. That's the poison that seeps into your soul, turning hesitation into chain, turning self-doubt into a slow, quiet death. Fear has been your captor. It has sat in the corner of every room, watching, waiting for you to hesitate. It has wrapped itself around your chest every time you dared to step forward. It has laughed in your face every time you tried and failed. But what fear never counted on, what doubt never saw coming, was the moment you decided to fight back. This is not about revenge against the people who left you. They were never strong enough to walk this path with you, and that's their loss. This is not about proving yourself to the ones who doubted you. Their disbelief was never about you. It was about their own limitations. No, the battle is bigger than them. The war is against the thing that has lived in your mind for too long. The war is against every whisper of hesitation, every moment of paralysis, every second you let fear hold the pen and write your story. You are not here to beg for acceptance. You are not here to silence the doubters. You are here to silence the voice inside you that still thinks they matter, that still thinks their words, their judgments, their disbelief should have any power over you. You are not weak. You are not small. You are not trapped. The only thing standing between you and everything you are meant to be is the enemy inside your mind, and it's time to destroy it. There comes a night that changes everything, a night when the weight becomes unbearable, when the fight feels pointless, when every scar, every failure, every betrayal crashes down at once. This is the night when the world stops pretending to care, when the silence becomes deafening, when you look in the mirror and don't even recognize the person staring back. This is the moment you hit rock bottom. No one sees you here. No one hears the battle inside your mind. You walk through the world like a ghost, unseen, unnoticed, forgotten. The ones who once cheered for you are long gone. The ones who promised to stand by your side have vanished. And here you are, standing at the edge, staring into the darkness, wondering if it would be easier to just let go. You've given everything. You've fought. You've sacrificed. You've pushed yourself past limits that would have broken anyone else. And for what? To be here, drowning in failure, suffocating under the weight of your own doubts. The world has won. The voices were right. Maybe you were never meant to rise. Maybe this is all you'll ever be. A lost cause, a forgotten name, another dream that never made it past the struggle. But then, just as you're about to surrender, just as you're ready to fade away into nothing, something stirs. It's faint, almost too quiet to notice. A whisper, a pulse, a flicker of light buried beneath the wreckage of your soul. Asterisk. Not yet. It's not loud. It's not a roar of defiance. It's a breath, a heartbeat, a single thought refusing to die. You don't even know where it comes from. Maybe it's the remnants of the person you used to be, Maybe it's the future version of you, calling you forward. Maybe it's just raw, stubborn, relentless instinct. But it's there, and it won't let go. So you stand. You don't know why. You don't know how. But you stand. Because something inside you isn't ready to die. Not yet. From the beginning, they planted the lies in your mind like seeds, hoping they would take root before you ever had a chance to realize the truth. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. Over and over, like a broken record, until the words became familiar, until they started sounding like your own thoughts. They conditioned you to believe that success was for other asterisk people. People born into privilege, people with more talent, people with connections, people who were simply lucky asterisk. They told you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to settle for what you were given. They made you believe that standing out was dangerous, that wanting more was selfish, that trying to break free would only lead to failure. This world has never celebrated the ones who dare to defy it. It rewards obedience, compliance, mediocrity. It praises those who play by the rules, who color inside the lines, who accept the limits placed upon them without question. And for those who dare to want more, for those who refuse to be tamed, the world does everything in its power to beat them into submission. That's why so many give up. That's why so many never even try. Because it's easier to live in a cage when you convince yourself that freedom was never an option. Because the moment you accept the lie that you are not enough, you become shackled to a life you were never meant to live. But what if they were wrong? What if every limitation, every doubt, every whispered, "You can't," was nothing more than a desperate attempt to keep you from realizing your true power? What if the only thing separating you from greatness is the belief that you deserve it? Because here's the truth they never wanted you to know. You were never meant to stay small. The chains they placed on you were never real. And the moment you decide to break free, the entire world will have no choice but to watch as you rise beyond their reach. There was a moment when the weight of it all became too much, when the exhaustion seeped into your bone, when every step forward felt like dragging chains behind you. You told yourself you were strong. You told yourself you could keep going. But deep inside, something was breaking. The temptation to surrender whispered in your ear, sweet and seductive. Just stop. Just let go. It would be so much easier. You watched others do it. Watched them trade their dreams for comfort, their fire for security. They stopped chasing, stopped fighting, stopped believing. And for a while, they looked happy. They smiled. They pretended. But if you looked closely, really looked, you saw it. The quiet suffocation, the slow creeping numbness of settling, the way their eyes lost their spark, the way their laughter carried no weight. They weren't living, they were existing. And the scariest part? You started wondering if that was your fate, too. The world would welcome it. The world would embrace you if you gave in, if you stopped resisting, if you let go of the struggle, if you melted into the background and became just another nameless, faceless person walking the well-worn path of mediocrity. They would tell you it's for the best, that chasing dream is reckless, that standing out is dangerous, that fighting for more will only leave you disappointed. And for a moment, you almost believed them. For a moment, you felt the flicker. Inside you start to dim, a candle barely holding on against the wind. The fire that once burned so brightly, reduced to a fragile ember, struggling to stay alive. But something stopped you. Maybe it was a memory. Maybe it was a vision of the person you could become. Maybe it was the unbearable thought of looking back, years from now, filled with regret, wondering what if, whatever it was, it kept you from slipping away. It reminded you that as long as the flame still exists, no matter how small, it can still grow. It can still rise. It can still set the world on fire. And in that moment, you made a decision. You would not go quietly. You would not fade into the background. You would not be one of the many who let life defeat them before they ever truly lived. No, you would fight, even if it meant crawling, even if it meant starting over, even if it meant facing the storm with nothing but that fragile, flickering flame inside you. Because that flame, it was enough. Something snapped, a shift so deep, it rattled the very foundation of who you were. There was no grand announcement, no applause, no flashing sign from the universe, just a moment when you realized you were done waiting, done breaking, done letting the world dictate the limits of your existence. You had spent too long in the shadows, too long doubting, too long drowning in fear. You had let the weight of your past suffocate your future, let the voices in your head hold you captive. But no more. Asterisk. No more waiting. You had waited for permission, for the right time, for some cosmic sign that you were meant for more. But all that waiting had done was steal time. No more. The moment was now. The fire inside you was no longer a flicker. It was an inferno. Asterisk. No more begging. You had begged the world to see you, begged for opportunities, for acceptance, for a chance to prove yourself. No more. You weren't here to ask. You were here to take, to carve your place into existence with blood, sweat, and an unshakable will. Asterisk. No more fear. Fear had ruled your life for too long, whispering lies, feeding hesitation, keeping you shackled to a version of yourself that was never meant to last. But fear had no place in the person you were becoming. Fear was nothing more than a dying ghost, screaming into the void as you left it behind. This was your war, not against people, not against circumstances, but against the weak, passive, hesitant version of yourself that once believed the lies. You had been buried, broken, and underestimated, but now you were rising, and nothing could stop you. The world didn't see it happening. They didn't notice when you started moving differently, thinking differently, becoming something sharper, stronger. That's because real transformation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the silence, in the unseen hours, in the darkness where no one is watching. You didn't rise overnight. You built yourself, piece by piece, moment by moment, with hands still scarred from the battles you barely survived. The weak version of you had been burned away, reduced to nothing but ashes, and from those ashes, you began forging something new. Like a blade tempered in fire, you embraced the heat, the pressure, the pain. Every struggle, every setback, every sleepless night became fuel, sharpening you, molding you into something unbreakable. The old you would have run from discomfort. The new you, invited it. Pain was no longer your enemy. It was your teacher. Every failure became a lesson. Every rejection became motivation. Every scar became a mark of honor. And then, the first victory, small, almost insignificant to anyone else. Maybe it was pushing a little harder than the day before. Maybe it was standing tall when you once would have bowed your head. Maybe it was proving to yourself that you could, that all this time you had been stronger than you ever realized. But to you, those victories weren't small. They were everything, because they weren't just wins. They were proof that you weren't lost, proof that you weren't defeated, proof that the fire inside you was still burning, hotter than ever. The world still didn't see you coming, but that was fine. Let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them think you were gone. Because by the time they finally realized what was happening, by the time they saw the weapon you had become, it would already be too late. There comes a moment when the chains that once held you no longer exist, not because they broke, but because you outgrew them. The weight of doubt, the grip of fear, the hesitation that once controlled you, they are nothing now. Shadows of a past self that no longer belongs to you. You are no longer the one struggling to survive. You are no longer questioning your worth, waiting for permission, hoping for validation. That version of you is dead. In its place stands something unrecognizable, something untouchable. You are the force they never saw coming. You move differently now. Your presence commands attention before you even speak. The fear that once lived inside you has been replaced with certainty. No more questioning, no more second-guessing. Every step you take is a declaration. Every move is deliberate. Every breath carries power. You are the storm. Not the one that passes through and fades. Not the one that rattles windows but leaves no damage. No, you are the kind that reshapes landscapes. The kind that makes the world stop and take notice. You are the force that cannot be contained. The power that cannot be ignored. They doubted you. They counted you out. They thought you would stay buried, broken, forgotten. But now, as you rise, as you unleash everything you have become, they see the truth. You were never meant to be controlled. You were never meant to stay small. And now, there is no stopping you. You return, not as the person they once knew, not as the version of yourself they underestimate. You return as something else, something forged in fire, something unbreakable. There are no announcements, no warning, no need for explanation. You let your presence do the talking, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the quiet intensity in your eyes. It tells them everything they need to know. They thought you were finished. They thought they had seen the last of you. They convinced themselves that you were just another name, another dream buried in the wreckage of failure. But now they see you, and for the first time, they are afraid. Because you're not here for validation. You're not here to beg for acceptance. You're not even here for revenge in the way they expected. You don't need to destroy them. You just need to succeed. That alone is enough. The same people who doubted you, who mocked you, who turned their backs on you. Now they don't know what to say. They scramble for words, for excuses, for justification. They try to rewrite history, pretend they always believed in you, but the look in their eyes betrays them. It's shock, it's fear, It's the realization that they were wrong about you. And you don't even need to acknowledge them. You don't need to waste a single breath proving your worth to those who never saw it in the first place. You are here, You are rising, You are unstoppable, And whether they like it or not, they have no choice but to watch. They have nothing to say now. The ones who once filled the air with laughter at your expense, who whispered behind your back, who dismissed you with a wave of the hand, now they are silent. No more mocking, no more doubt, no more casual disregard, because now they see. They see the power in your stride, the unshakable certainty in your presence. They see the results, not promises, not potential, not dream, results. And results don't need validation. They don't need approval. They speak for themselves. You do not seek apologies. You do not wait for them to acknowledge what they did. You do not care if they regret underestimating you, because you are past all of that now. You do not need their words. You do not need anything from them. You are done explaining . Like a lion walking through the jungle, you do not need to announce your dominance. You do not need to roar to prove who you are. The world already knows. They step aside, not because you demand it, but because your presence alone commands it. And in that silence, that deafening silence, they come to terms with the truth. They never stopped you. They never broke you. And now, they can do nothing but watch . At first, you thought this was about them, about proving them wrong, about making them choke on their doubts, their laughter, their indifference. But as you stand here now, elevated, unstoppable, unshaken, you realize the truth. This was never about them. They were never the point. Their disbelief was nothing but noise, a distraction, a fleeting obstacle on a path that was always meant for you. Because real victory isn't found in revenge. It isn't in the silence of your enemies or the shock in their eyes. Real victory is standing in the place they said you'd never reach, and knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that you always belonged here. You do not win to spite them. You do not rise to prove them wrong. You rise because this is who you are, asterisk. Because you are always meant for more. Because every struggle, every scar, every setback was forging you into something greater. This is not about revenge. This is about asterisk, purpose, asterisk. About taking your place. About stepping into the life that was waiting for you all along. A king does not take the throne to prove to doubters that he is worthy. He takes it because it is his, because it was always his, because nothing, no opinion, no rejection, no setback could ever take it away from him. And now, asterisk, you sit on your throne, asterisk, not because they allowed it, not because they finally see your worth, but because it was always yours to claim. They thought they were crushing you. They thought the weight of their doubt, their rejection, their silence would be enough to extinguish your fire. They didn't realize that pressure doesn't destroy a force like yours. It asterisk creates asterisk it. They tried to break you, and in doing so they built something unbreakable. You are no longer a flickering flame, fragile and uncertain. You are no longer waiting for permission to burn, afraid of taking up too much space, of shining too brightly. Those days are gone. That version of you is dust. You have become fire, not the kind that flickers in the darkness, desperate to survive. No, you are wildfire, uncontainable, unstoppable, the kind that devours limits, that consumes doubt, that spreads with unstoppable force. They will try to control you. They will try to put you back in the box they built for you, whispering lies, throwing obstacles in your way. But it is too late. They cannot stop what has already begun. You do not ask for space. You asterisk, take asterisk it. You do not fear destruction. You asterisk, embrace asterisk it. Because you are no longer the one being burned by life. Now, asterisk, you are the fire itself. You have risen. You have walked through fire, endured the storms, shattered the chains meant to hold you. But this journey, this war, was never just about you. Because somewhere, in the same darkness you once fought through, there is someone else, someone drowning in doubt, someone buried beneath the weight of failure, someone who has been told they are not enough. And now, asterisk, you become the fire that lights their way. You do not rise alone. True power is not in standing at the top. It is in reaching back, in pulling others from the abyss, in showing them what is possible. Now it is your voice that will echo in their minds when they are ready to give up. It is your strength they will see when they think they have none left. You do not beg them to rise. You do not soften your words. You do not coddle them because you know the truth. Asterisk. They are stronger than they believe. They do not need pity. They need fire. They need a mirror that shows them what they are capable of becoming. You are that mirror. Your existence is proof. Proof that pain does not define them. Proof that doubt is a liar. Proof that they too can stand, fight, asterisk, win, asterisk. Because power is not meant to be hoarded. Strength is not meant to be hidden. Asterisk legends do not rise for themselves. They rise so that others may follow. This is it, the final moment, the last words that will burn into their souls, the echo that will remain long after everything else fades. You have walked through the fire, shattered the chain, silenced the doubt. You have become the force they feared, the unstoppable presence they never saw coming. But this is not the end. This is only the beginning. Because now, asterisk, you know who you are. No more questioning, no more hesitating, no more shrinking to fit into spaces too small for the power you hold inside. You have stepped into your truth, and there is no turning back. They thought they could break you. They thought they could contain you. They thought they could stop you. But now they see you are still here. You are still rising. And no matter what they throw in your path, no matter how many times they try to stand in your way, they cannot stop you. Because you are relentless. You are unbreakable. You are asterisk, unstoppable, asterisk. And now the world has no choice but to watch as you take what is yours. Asterisk, asterisk. They thought they could stop you. Now they see you can't be stopped.